Hi, Kritika.
Hi,
Hi.
why can't I see you?
My webcam is not on. Let me just switch it on for you. Can you see me now? Can you see me now? I think let's tell everyone to just keep it on mute during the presentation, and in case they have some questions, we can keep it for the last, or maybe,
Mm-hmm.
we can have a question answer round for that.
No,
We're expecting not many people to join us in
Sumer
this.
will be compiling all the questions and asking at the
Okay,
end.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Okay, yeah.
Hello,
Hi,
ma'am.
Sumer. Hi.
Tanisha, any updates from him?
Ma'am, he said he'll be joining in 2 minutes.
Okay, let's wait. If a few of you could keep your cameras on, once he starts presenting, you could put it off, but it's good to show our faces to him. Just put your attendance in the chat box, please. He's here.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi. Hi, Vijay.
Hi, sorry for joining a bit late. I'm really sorry. Hello.
Hello. Tanisha, you can start.
Hello, sir. I hope you're
Hello.
good today.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for inviting me,
So
and
we
I'm
all are
sorry for
looking forward for
sorry for joining a bit late. I mean, like I didn't expect the delay because of my previous meeting, and sorry for that.
not a problem, sir.
Yeah. So yeah, hello guys. Is it okay if you guys mute? So there are a few people who haven't muted it.
Yeah.
I request everyone to please
So,
mute
so
their.
Yes. Mhm. Yeah, there is Sumer Narial,
yes, sir. Good
and
afternoon, sir.
I also request Anisha to, yeah, good afternoon. So you can mute Sumer Narial, Anisha Shah, you can also mute because I'm hearing a noise. Yes, that's
So we
perfect.
can have some more
So
students joining in. By then we can start.
yeah, sure. I
Yeah.
can wait for a
Okay.
while. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for inviting me. I would like to thank the Professor Kristika Mathur, right? I mean, she tagged me
Yes.
on LinkedIn. So thanks a lot, and I would also like to thank the student coordinators, Tanisha, and a couple more students. So yeah, sorry for joining late, and sorry for messy hair. It's just because of the COVID. I didn't get a chance to do a proper hairdressing because of this sick COVID times. So I hope
So,
you guys are doing good. You guys are doing
yes.
good during this pandemic times. It's good to stay safe and follow the rules and regulations of the government.
So, good afternoon, everyone. So we all are fascinated with the world of data, and some of us would have been aspiring to make a career into it. To gain insight about the same, we have Mr. Vijay Praveen, an experienced data expert analyst. So he's currently working with Siemens Mobility Division Germany as a customer and analytics solution expert. And he was awarded top 40 scientist, data scientist under 40 in India. He was also nominated as 20 plus data scientist to follow in 2020 by the Artificial Intelligence Time Journal from the United States. Also a TEDx speaker at TEDx Deggendorf, Germany. His area of expertise is data and business analytics, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and data visualization with the passion to convert raw data into products, actionable insights, meaningful stories, and developing next generation analytical techniques. So we welcome you, sir. Over to you. You can start with the session now.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Sumar
Mhm.
Nayal. it's my pleasure talking to the students. I mean, like I always enjoy talking to the student community since it's like I've been there, done that sort of thing. So just a little bit of background, as you said, I would also like to touch upon some points through my life, so that students get more idea about who I am and whom they are listening to. As you said, I'm Vijay Praveen Maharajan. I mean, not just a lengthy name. Maharajan is my dad's name. Just a second, I would like to pin myself. Yes, that's perfect. So yeah, I just a second. I'm just closing out. Yeah, so okay. So there were like I just had a look at the chat window and it was like present, taking me back to the college days, and it's always nice to see such text. So yeah, I come from south of India. I come from a place called Tirunelveli in Tamil Nadu. So I did my bachelor's in Tamil Nadu, and then I went on to do my master's in Germany. So I did my master's in electrical engineering. So I did my bachelor's in electronics and instrumentation, and I did the same. Electronics comes under electrical in Germany here. So it's a topsy-turvy curve from an electronics background to data science. And yeah, I mean, he has listed out some of the awards that I got. So I feel honored, and at the same time, there are, of course, a lot more people who are equally deserving. So, in my opinion, this is the point that I wanted to tell you guys. So, from an electronics background to data science, and that too in a quick span of time, I would say that should be the focus. I'll brief about what is data science and what are the things that you can do in this field, and then we can take it from there. And as he said, I got a chance to speak at a TEDx event, and also being the very first Indian to be invited for a TEDx talk in Germany. So these are all the things that just happened, I would say. So I'm really happy to talk to you guys. I mean, as I said, I've been talking to some students of late. After this pandemic times, I decided to give a lot of webinars just to share what I learned. So that's the main goal. And just a second, let me open something. I'll also share my screen so that yes. Right, can I share the screen? Yes. Just a second, I'm sharing my screen. So yeah, if you want to know more about me, I mean, you can always go to this website. It's there, and you can also get connected to me on either of the platforms, on LinkedIn or Twitter, for instance. So that is there. And regarding data science, I would like to open a few things. It won't be too technical. I mean, like I already got a heads up from Tanisha saying that most of the students are from non-engineering backgrounds, which is in a way really good. So I would say data science has nothing to do with engineering. So that's the heads up first. I can give it to you. So it's all about mathematics, statistics, and how good are you in mathematics and statistics. So that's the thing. So uh, I would say I'm the odd man out here. I am from engineering, and I'm in data science right now, which has nothing to do with engineering. So after doing a master's from one of the elite universities in Germany, which is Technical University of Munich, I kind of felt that I'm not a good engineer. So that's how I got into data science. I was I started as a working student. So the good thing about Germany is you can work in parallel to your masters. So same like in some other countries. And I got an opportunity to work as a working student with a company called Telefonica. Telefonica is a company which has a brand O2. If you are a football follower, some of you might have noticed O2 in the jerseys. So that is where I started my career, and I was doing my internship. I was doing my work student, and then I converted my thesis. I got good grades, and then I moved into data science like that. So it's just like at the beginning, I was just asked to support data science team by preparing some data and giving out some reports. So that is how I started 6 to 7 years back. So it's like if I can do, and why not you guys? That's the whole point of this session. And I don't want this to be too technical. I mean, since many of them are from social sciences, physics, chemistry, humanities, and there are a lot. There are a lot of departments that I have heard that are in the call. I'd like to say a few buzzwords about data science, and then we'll also have some interactions in between. Like we'll have questions, Q&A sessions. So just feel free. I know that there are a couple of staff, a couple of professors in the call, but feel free to just ask out any questions, be it data science or be it learning in Germany, studying in Germany, and what are the career opportunities after this COVID. So just be open and make use of this time. So what is data science? I mean, data science is a buzzword that is buzzing us for a while now. So do you have a chat window? Yes. So if you already know about data science, then I'll give you a couple of minutes. You can type in whatever you know. What are the real world applications of data science? Let's put it that way. I'll keep an eye on the chat window. I would like to see some other text other than present. Just a minute for you guys so that you can. Data science can be used to analyze customer insights. Yes, Professor Kritika Mathur, yes, you're right. Gurjeet Singh, you said forecasting. Yes, prediction, forecasting are part of data science applications. Yes, that's true. Anyone else? Abhishek Verma, data science is studying the huge chunk of data to infer something. Yes, huge chunk of data. Yes, you're right. But any real world applications that you know that you use on your daily lives. Mohit Balhara, yes, you're right. Advancements in speech recognition. That's true. That is true. We have a lot of thing called Google, Siri, Alexa. Yes, exactly. There is a data science product. Yes, you're right, Mohit. Like this, if you know any other real world data science problems, you can always keep it in the chat window. Walmart is using big data to boost sales. Rohan Sharma. Everybody is using to boost their sales. Rohan. I'll come to that point later on. Shweta Kalra, it can be used to optimize the transportation routes. Yes, you're right. Like metro, like we have metros in Delhi and in Chennai, right? So, for instance, I work in mobility domain. So I work with Siemens Mobility. Siemens is a wide range of company which is present in more than 150 countries. So Siemens produces medical equipment, medical machines. Siemens has energy grids. Siemens has washing machines, appliances. And I work in mobility domain where we deal with trains. So we deal with metro trains, and we are also going to sign up a project with Indian Railways. Suppose then you can expect a big change when with Indian Railways. And yes, Tanisha, analyzing from the raw data broadly. Yes, you're right. Organic search engine results, Harisharan. Yeah, in a way, yes. So Sumar Narial, sir, she said used to get insights for social media usage, which can be in form of structure or answer. Yes, you're right. So everything that you have at your hands right now, be it Twitter, Facebook, or Amazon, everything uses data science. I'll give you a couple of examples as well. So already you guys are aware of what is data science. So for me, in a way, it is not so complex to explain it in a way. So I hope almost everybody here uses Facebook. So the friend suggestion list is a product of data science. So if I'm a friend of, let's say, Sumar Narial or Harisharan, then I'll be shown as a suggestion to some of your friends later on. So that's how the algorithm works. So the friend suggestion list, for instance, and how did you guys forget YouTube? So the recommendation engines or a data science product. So let's say if you listen to A.R. Rahman songs, sorry for taking A.R. Rahman as an example, but yeah. So if you listen to his song, then what will YouTube do? They'll throw off another playlist or another list of songs from A.R. Rahman to us. So that's how it is. The recommendation engines, the friend suggestion list, and Amazon. Let's take Amazon. Amazon, if you order a laptop today, then they'll show you all sorts of suggestions like buy this mouse, buy this keyboard, desktop or screens. So that's what data science algorithms are all about. And particularly during this COVID times, these sorts of data science and data scientists are helping a lot of uh, the community in stopping this spread of COVID. So like contact tracing applications are built and a lot of dashboards. You guys have looked at a lot of dashboards, right? So a lot of insights onto how many persons are infected, what sort of demographics. And talking about demographics, I was actually surprised of how the demographics of your university is. I mean, like I saw a graph where 50-50, almost close to it, where male and female candidates. It's in a way it's really good, and I feel really happy for that. At least in a way that we have equal sorts of opportunities in universities. So yes, so we got a lot of insights regarding the COVID dashboards. You might have looked at a lot of dashboards. So those kind of dashboards have a lot of data insights behind them. And what else? As Rohan Sharma said, Walmart is using big data to boost sales. Yes, everybody, literally everybody, Amazon, Reliance, they are all into data science of late. So everybody is using it, everybody is talking about it. So it's a matter of fact that you guys can hear something about it. And what are all the tools? What are all the tools that we can use in this data science? So if you want to become a data scientist or if you want to know something about data science, it's good to know about Python. So uh, be it a programmer or a non-programmer, that doesn't matter. So trust me, I'm from a non-programming background. I'm from electronics and instrumentation, by the way. So from there to here, it's an exciting journey. I mean, you don't have to sit and code every day. It's all about your interests, your ability to code and ability to grab insights. And what else? So of course, you guys know Sundar Pichai, right? So Sundar Pichai is now heading Alphabet. So you know where he started? I mean, what's his background? Can anyone of you type in the chat window again? So what's Alphabet and Google's CEO's education background? Anybody knew that? Any answers? No, just a second. I need to. Sorry, I need to swipe down. Sorry. No, yes, he's from IIT, yes, but what's his specialization? I mean, specialization. So, what's his specialization? Like for instance, I am from exactly Kritika Mathur is right. He's Anupriya. You're also right. He's from metallurgical engineering. So, just think of a guy who does metallurgical engineering. What it is? It's all about analyzing the metals. I mean, I'm not sure how many of you are fans of Breaking Bad. So there you see a lot of chemicals, right? So it's like how metals are used to do stuff. So a guy who did metallurgical engineering is now at one of the topmost firms, leading as a CEO. And that's the reason why we cannot do anything out of the box. So if you are into some behavioral sciences or human sciences or any subjects, it doesn't matter. So all I want you to do is don't blame yourself or your parents or anybody, and don't worry about what you're doing right now. That is not a good way to go. So in a way, you should be thinking about what can we do out of the box. So imagine there are like 50 people, more than 50 people in the call right now. So if most of the people are doing the same course, then you should be thinking about what can we do better than the others? What can we do which is something different than the others? So that is how you should be rolling the ball. Yeah, Shivani Narwal says Breaking Bad is awesome. Yes, I'm a big fan of it. I'm big fan of Money Heist as well. So let me jump into some of the questions as well. So Neelaksh Bond says data science can be used for save lives as well. Yes, that is what I discussed. Sorry, I'm just seeing your text now. Recognizing and inferring such data will help saving lives. You're right. So a lot of data science applications, a lot of stuff are going around. It's really helping a lot of people out. And what else? Just going to the text. Arushi Butler, extracting meaning from raw data. So I'll give you an example about what is raw data. Everybody says data, raw data, processed data. So let's say a company has a list of products which is sold on the market, or just imagine a store right next to you. So they have sales data, right? So they have product numbers, product IDs, when the product has arrived, when was it stored, how long does it take the product to come from the godown or something. So if you take a product, there are n number of details. So that is simply called raw data. And if you process it, if you know what sort of columns you need, I mean, I'm just gonna buy a product from that store, and I don't care about the inventory details, right? So that is process data. So what you take out from the raw data is called process data. So don't confuse with these technical jargons. And Manish AP says tax fare estimations for a user, let's say by Uber. That's another example, taxi fare. So talking about Uber and Ola, I'd like to pinpoint. Just a second, there is a noise. Neelaksh, yes, Neelaksh is muted. Sorry. Yeah, talking about Uber fare estimations and taxi stuff, I would like to pinpoint an example from my place. I mean, like I come from Chennai, so we have fast track called taxi. I guess you might have heard of it. It's very famous down south, particularly in Chennai. No, where are they? They are almost bankrupt. So companies like Uber and Ola, they are so much into data science, and they do fare estimations based on the timings of the usage, and let's say the place of high importance. Let's say if you want to go to airports, your prices will be estimated in a different way. Whereas if you want to go to your friend's place, which is in a root corner of the city, then that's fine. And there is a text from Pooja Saini. It helps us to get real-time actionable insights for decision making. You're right. Decision making is one of the best things that data science is doing to various industries. So, for instance, as I said, I work with mobility. So what we do is we predict the delay analysis, how many minutes the next train will be late, or let's take London Metro. London Metro, a train runs once in every 2 minutes. So let's say if a train is delayed by 10 or 20 seconds, then it creates an impact. I mean, we just forget about Indian Railways for now. I mean, they are actually doing really good with a huge country managing the entire infrastructure and stuff is pretty awesome. But talking about London Metro, once in 2 minutes we have a train. So just think about how far they need to be proactive in dealing with delays. So that's where data science helps. China, Rohan Sharma says China using big data analytics to predict future victims of the pandemic. Not only China, everybody does have a prediction. So in a way, we can do the prediction using data science. You're right. Prediction is what we can do, and data scientists are doing. Let's say weather forecasts are nowadays based on data science applications as well. And the Priyanka Meher says identification of patterns in the data and analyzing them. Yes, exactly. So what do you mean by patterns? Patterns are something that, again, there is a noise here. Pattern is something that data scientists can explore within data. As I said, if you look at shop data, you can see what are the peak times of that shop and what can be done better to market that product. Just there are a lot of inputs. So these are all the patterns that you can find, and it is highly being used in healthcare sector. The good thing about data science is it is everywhere, no matter what field you are working with, be it healthcare industry, pharmaceutical, retail, e-commerce, transportation, information technology. It is everywhere. So yes, it is also used highly in healthcare sector, like for the precision or for the machine learning stuff. Yes, and there's a thing from Shivani Narwal. Instagram algorithms. Yes, of course, Facebook and Instagram, they are nothing without data science applications. Yes, Kritika Mathur says Indian Railways and Siemens. That is interesting. Yes, but right now it's more sort of a stuff that is going around on a low level basis. But yes, if they both tie up, then I expect some big changes in Indian Railways in the future. But don't worry, guys. I mean, Siemens aren't a private entity. They'll grab all the money and run away from India. It is not going to be like that. Siemens is a company which doesn't have a CEO who owns all the money. It is like more like a trust or a charity. So Siemens and Robert Bosch are working in that particular model, and we have our headquarters in Germany. I'm right now speaking from the headquarters. I mean, not today. I'm at my home, but officially, yes, I am from Siemens headquarters. Based on our browsing history, recommendations given. Yes, Mohit, Google is that kind of a spy that does everything. So if you type in some name in Instagram, it shows you on Facebook, it shows on Twitter, it shows everywhere, right? So yes, you're right. They are looking at each and every step. Arushi Batla has given a great insight. Targeted advising and retargeting. Yes, you're right. So I was working in a telecommunications firm. So what we do is we do. I hope there are some football fans here. So you know about Euro Cup, right? Euro Football Cup. So what we did is we did marketing based on geographical locations. So even though I'm in Germany, there are some settlements of Italians, settlements of French people. So what they do is, of course, they'll watch their matches more. So what we did is we gave personalized offers to them. So let's say if somebody opens a mobile app, We'll provide them with 10 euros offer or 10 gigabytes of internet. That is what a targeted advertising is. And Kritika Mathur says we love A.R. Rahman. I mean, who else wouldn't love him? He's such a beautiful soul. Not just about music, he's a good person by heart. Somesh Grover says ad recommendations come according to that. Yes, that is what Mohit Balhara also said. From the browsing history for any ads, it is the same. And yeah, there are a lot of answers from people. IIT Metallurgical, yes. Yes. So from middle class, being a middle class Indian to a TEDx, how did that happen? So it's all about being able to develop stories with data. So I kind of like talking, as you have seen. It's little over 30 minutes, and I'm the one who has taken a lot of time talking. So in a way, I did appear in a lot of international conferences in Germany. So there, a professor was interested in one of my findings, and he just asked me, Vijay, would you like to go on for TED Talk? And I was like totally surprised, and who would miss out on such an opportunity? That's how I got the TEDx opportunity. So just try to build on your uh, outcomes or positive things. Let's say if you do one thing which is right, do another thing based on the first appearance. Always try to capitalize on your stuff and build your profile. So that's how you should be rolling it. And I guess you would have had a little idea about data science by now. So let's also talk about the other stuff of this webinar, how to upskill during COVID-19. I would say check out Udemy. There is a platform called Udemy Coursera. I'll type out on the chat window so that you guys don't miss out. Yeah, so I would say Udemy, Coursera, and Linda. Linda is really beautiful. I would say Linda is from LinkedIn, and you might have to give your card credentials, but that is okay. You get a 1 month free subscription, and I guess um, it's worth it. The certifications you get from Linda is really cool. So you kind of get rock solid certifications from that platform. So make use of this COVID times. Like attend a lot of webinars like this. Talk to industrial people. Like get their perspectives. Get their opinions on various use cases. And then do a lot of certifications. Certifications, I mean, it's just a paper as a matter of paper. But I would say it's still good in a way that it, places you in a different league. Let's say if there is 50 people and you have done a couple of certifications on data science, then of course, if there is an opportunity in data science, then you will be the default pick. So that these are all the platforms that you can say, and you can also check this site. I mean, unfortunately, we are at the end of April, but Pluralsight was offering free courses for all people during this pandemic. But I guess that was in April, and I'm not sure whether they'll be extending it to May or June. But yeah, just have an eye on this site. It's really good. And there are also a lot of free materials all over the internet, which you can always look up to. And yeah, I mean, like, what else you can do during this pandemic? So doing certifications is one thing, and listening to webinars, listening to podcasts, for example. So how many of you have heard of Simon Sinek? So there is a question from Kritika Mathur. So how many of you know about Simon Sinek? So any particular certifications? Kritika, I would leave this end open. So I would say it's up to the the guys to pick courses, be it any field. As I said, Sundar Pichai did metallurgical engineering, and now he is the boss of one of the world's top firms. So just feel free. You don't have to jump into data science. Believe me, go with your strengths. So going with your strength is all matters here. So it is not like uh, you're talking to a data scientist today, so you should be jumping into data science immediately. That is not a fact. Just try to strengthen your strengths. I'd say pick your strengths. Okay, some people might say I'm not sure about what my strength is. So even the same for almost everybody. So just go with your strengths. Just listen to the podcast. Yes, I have got a lot of answers. Yes, Shita Patel has heard of Simon Sinak. Sumar Narial, yes, is a millennial basher. Yes, Rohan. Of course, when you have so many followers and if you do a lot of amazing things, then why not? I mean, it's not just about followers. It's about what things you do differently from the others. Shweta Kalra, yes, he's an author. Start with why. Yes. So, and what sort of other skills you need to develop as a data scientist or a data science domain? So I would say building algorithms or code, programming is a part, visualization is a part, and data storytelling. So you all kind of like a lot of movies, right? So for instance, I myself am into action and thriller movies, but yeah, some of you might be into romantic or love kind of drama. So movies are different, but data is completely dry. So if you are thinking about getting into data, just make sure that data is completely vague and completely dry. You need to be also nerdy about knowing about data. And at the same point, it is also not so difficult. So I would say you have a lot of good student coordinators and professors at your university who can guide you to various professions. So for instance, today you're talking with a data scientist or a data analytics expert. Tomorrow you might be talking to somebody from petroleum industry, which is already doing worse in these times. But yeah, you might speak to a retail person, retail industry expert. So just get various ideas, talk to various persons. I would request Mr. Sumar Narial and Kritika Mathur to invite a lot of industrial experts so that your students can get a flavor of industries, various industries. So just keep it open, talk to a lot of people, and get a lot of ideas and build on your strengths. If you design posters, then why not? You can be the best poster designer. If you are a YouTuber, you're welcome. You can post videos on the YouTube, but do it regularly. Doing something regularly takes you to places. So no YouTuber is nothing without posting videos regularly on YouTube. The same as it. I mean, if you do it constantly, you will be reaching heights for sure. So I would say be patient, be persistent, and practice. These are three P's that I would like to tell you guys. Practice, patient, and persistent. These three things will take you to a level, and I'd also like you to respect the fellow women. I mean, we are nothing without women, so respect women, and I'd say uh, it's like 45 minutes, and I don't want to be talking all the way through. I would also like let you talk now for the next few minutes, and then we end the session. Thanks again for this wonderful opportunity. I hope I made your 40 minutes worth it, and I again apologize for joining late. It's just because of the previous meeting that I heard. Yes, yes, Kritika, patience, practice, and persistence. Yes. So, any questions? Did you like the session, or is there any feedback? Thanks, Sheetal. Yeah, we can have the Q&A session. Yes, I'm not going to run away. I've blocked 1 hour in my calendar, so yes, shoot the questions. I'm here, and if not, I'll be in this website. Just a second. So yeah, as I said, you can reach me in this website, jpraveen.com, where you can find all of my platforms here. You can look into any particular case. Yes. So yeah, is statistics a prerequisite to learn data science? Yes, Abhishek Sharma, you're right. The statistics is needed. So that is why I said data science has nothing to do with engineering. So it's all about mathematics and statistics. Just ramp up your skills, do some certifications on statistics. Just see what it is. If you are already good at statistics, then go for advanced courses in statistics. Thank you, Manish. Thank you, Kritika. Yeah, yes. Would you like them to ask questions on the mic? Yes, Kritika, they can unmute, they can ask, but one by one. If somebody is already speaking, then just wait for a second. Abhishek has a question. Yes, Abhishek, you can unmute. Yes. There is a question from Aditya Parashar. Just a second, I'll complete this question from Aditya. Which programming language is better for data science, Python or R? As an industrial expert, I would say Python. Stick with Python. Python is widely used in industries, but if you want to move into academics, if you want to be a professor, or if you want to do your PhD, then go with R. R is more of a statistical language, but both are same. Don't learn both. Either go with Python or R. As an industry person, I would say Python. Ashita Jain, any tips on how to develop storytelling skill through data? It's a vast topic. I would say build your narration skills, like talk a lot, and you have to be nerdy at the same point in order to know about the data, so that you build a story out of it. Without knowing the data and without knowing the insights, you cannot do that. So first thing is domain knowledge and data insights, and then proper visualization, and then story. Build a proper story. Yeah, there is a question from Abhishek. Abhishek, you can unmute now. Sorry. Yeah, thanks, Ashita. And for you, Ashita, you can actually check out my YouTube channel. There you can find a playlist. I'm on the same name everywhere. I'm a shameless guy. You can call it. I am available on any platform with the same name of Vijay Praveen Maharajan that you found in posters. So you can look at some of the webinars that I have did in the past. I have did one exclusive webinar on data storytelling, so you can always look up to that. Abhishek Verma, yes. Sorry, Aditya Parashar, thank you. There is a question from Sherry Srivatsava. How is data science being used during COVID crisis? People are trying to build applications like contact tracing. There are applications based on Bluetooth. It's not just about Bluetooth, but the algorithms behind it. So if you are in touch with somebody within a proximity, then it grabs your data, works around, and it informs the other people who have met you recently. So that is one application. And there are guys from Columbia University. What they did is they did a solution which prevents the drug failure. I mean, like, now people are looking at a lot of options or solutions to end this COVID. So of course, a lot of drug delivery would fail. So people are coming up with solutions so that your drug finding doesn't fail often. So that is one of the data science applications. And yes, Tanisha, question from Arushi. What are the good institute to learn data science for designing? There are a lot. I heard of Great Lakes. I've heard of, I mean, if you want to do it in India, then of course, for sure, IITs, IIMs, IISCs. But other than that, just try looking at some on the internet. I mean, since I did my masters in Germany, I'm not sure about how good are the Indian universities. I believe that there are really good Indian universities, so you can look up to the internet. Sorry. And yeah, thanks Kritika for posting some of the links that that I did. Just a second, yes. Yeah. Which industries are using on-time data analysis for the future of data analysis? As I said, it's not about particular industry. So Amazon e-commerce industry is using real-time data analysis. So how many products are coming in, how many are going out, what is the inventory status, and what is the customer interested in. If he searches for a mouse and then logs out, it is their responsibility to pull that customer and say, hey, hello, you searched for a mouse yesterday, and what are you doing now? Just go buy it. So that's a real-time data analysis. And yeah, myself, I'm working with the mobility domain, so it is real-time data analysis. So what we do in London Metro is prediction of train delay analysis. So that is also vital. And yeah, thanks Kritika for posting my webinars. Mohit Valhara, sir, I have a question. You can directly ask the question. It's the Q&A session, Mohit. Thanks, Sherry Srivatsava. Thanks, Ashita Jain. How to overcome the invalid data filled by individual in apps which are built to fight? It's not some data that you fill in as an individual. So there are a lot of applications. Probably you might have seen some basic applications on the internet, but there are applications which doesn't allow you to enter any information, but in turn finds you that you are a COVID. So let's say if you are affected, they'll trace out your past history, past few days, what were you doing, where were you been, and they'll inform the people close to it or because of proximity. I mean, everybody has GPS in their phones right now, so I'm not sure how is it going to be an issue to find out people. Arogya Setu, I'm not into it. Maybe I should look into it. Sorry, Mohit, I'm not aware of. I mean, I heard of this Arogya Setu from government, but I haven't looked into it. Sorry. Arushi Batla, thanks for the insightful and motivating session, sir. Thanks a lot, Arushi.
So I have a question.
Yeah. What's your name?
So I have a question.
Yeah, Tanisha. Yeah.
So as the world is going through a crisis time, and obviously in the current time we'll be having a lack of jobs in the market. So what would you guide us to do it at this time to make our opportunity better for the future?
So yeah, you can also mute now. Yeah. So you're right. So the whole world is in a crisis moment. I mean, like nobody is certain about what is next. So I'm sitting from Germany and I'm still not sure about what's next. A lot of people are facing job cuts. A lot of people are facing pay cuts. So half of them, I mean, most of them are paid half of their salaries or even lesser. So it is there everywhere, not just about India or in US. I have seen a news that so many people lost their jobs. So it is uncertain. What you can do to improvise yourself is, as I said, start doing certifications. It is okay. It is okay if you feel kind of bored or if you feel less motivated. But once we come out of this COVID, for sure there will be a boom. There will be a lot of jobs on offering. So let's imagine a guy who is working for Siemens. Let's take me. If I am working for Siemens and I'm laid off, I mean, unfortunately, I'm not. I'm working and I'm getting paid 100%. I'm thankful for that. But let's imagine if I am sacked by Siemens or if I am paid 50%, then what I'll do? I'll get an aversion towards Siemens after that. So what I'll be doing right after the COVID is to look for other jobs. So I moved to another firm and there is a vacancy created on Siemens. So the job market will be a lot, and particularly after this point, if you are into medical sciences and biomedical industry, you will be having a boom as well. So just start reading about medical sciences and medical industries. You can be a blogger in that. You can uh, contact medical personalities and interview them, put it on YouTube, be a YouTuber. Because why I am saying is it's gonna pick up very soon, and people are gonna invest a lot in medical sciences and not on military and defense after this COVID. Because now we have a big lesson that small virus is very dangerous than bullets and bombs. So yes, thank you, Mohit. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So yeah, start doing certifications, listen to a lot of webinars, listen to podcasts, read books, which is also important. Other than subject books, I mean, and I'm sorry, professors who are here, but it's all about reading a lot of things other than technical or educational stuff as well. I mean, of course, you need to pass your exams, you need to learn stuff, but at the same time, just read out books, which is kind of motivating and interesting. Yes, Kritika, they should read all kinds of books. Yes, motivating, inspirational, and you can talk to people, find industry people. I mean, you know how this session happened. I mean, it was just a LinkedIn interaction uh, from Tanisha, and she took it to email and did it professionally. So I would once again like to thank the professors here, Sumer Nariel, Kritika Mathur, and Tanisha Shah, for just looking out for people like me. I mean, I'm still not an elite. For me, every day is a new learning. I wish the same for you guys as well. So take one day at a time. Don't just think about 5 years from now. I mean, and I don't like this question on every interview. What would you like to be after 5 years? How can I know, man? Seriously. I mean, you can have bigger dreams, but don't let it out. Work on it. Take one day at a time. What am I gonna do next day? What am I gonna do this day? Just think about what's next. What is tomorrow? So look at this situation. I mean, the whole world is in standstill. So if somebody has planned for amazing business in 2020, then crap, that's it. He's gone. He has invested and wasted a lot of money in 2020 because the whole world will be under lockdown. I expect until June or July. But yeah, good thing is Germany is recovering fast and we are already flattening the curve. So yes. Sorry, Sumar. Sorry, yes. Okay. Sumar is a student coordinator. Yeah, sorry. Since you gave the introduction, I thought you're from the faculty, but yeah, that's okay. Sorry from my end. Good podcast or sessions. Um, you can look up to Simon Sinek's videos, and I'm sure about podcasts from my field, but it would be boring for the others. I would say just go with motivational speakers. Just try to find out motivational speakers on podcasts. And yeah, Kritika, we are thankful to you. Thanks a lot, Kritika. What you can do is you can make a screenshot of this chat, and you can also post it on social media platforms and can inspire a lot of people. You can tag me along, and that's a way to motivate others to do such activities, right? So I mean, it is not about my session for my stuff. I mean, I'm already being followed by more than 27,000 people on LinkedIn. So for me, your tag is isn't something that is gonna bring a lot of shell loads of money. So all I want is to inspire people and keep doing it. So in a way, if you can take a snapshot of it and post it on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, just type in Vijay Praveen Maharajan. I assume it's a pretty lengthy name, and I should talk to my dad instead of having a single first name. He kept Vijay Praveen, and I had to carry his name as well. So I look forward to a lot of tags on the social media platforms. Keep learning, keep inspiring, and take it one day at a time. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Soumya. Thank you, Shivani. Thank you, Kritika. Gurjeet Singh. Thank you. Thank you, Sibyl Singh. Thank you, Dorothy. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I hope you had a good session. Yeah. Keep posting contents. Keep inspiring people, and refer people to me. I mean, those who are interested in moving to Germany or learning about data science, or be it any kinds of topics, you can always tell them that there is a guy from LinkedIn or guy from South India. They can always. I mean, I don't want the split, South and North. I'm from India. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Anupriya. Anupriya sounds to me as a typical Tamil name. I speak Tamil. Syed Mubashir Hassan, thank you. Thank you, Pallavi Joshi. Thank you. Thank you, Mohit Balsara. Thank you, Vijay Kumar. And yeah, keywords from Kritika Mathur will end the session. Kritika, Tamil தெரியாதே. Super. Okay. Thank you, Archit. Thank you, Lavanya. Thank you, Neelaj. Thanks a lot. It was wonderful talking to me, and I hope to meet in another session as well soon. You can invite me.
Surely.
I can also visit your campus if I am coming to Delhi for a while in the next India visit. I'll look for it. Yeah. Usually I take flights from Trivandrum or Chennai. Sometimes I had to take a route from Delhi. So if that's the case, then I'll take a one-day pass. I'll just come visit your campus. Yeah.
So on behalf of our School of Business, Public Policy and Entrepreneur, we would like to thank you for today's session. I hope, sir, each one of us have gained a lot from this session, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, and I wish you all the very best. Take care and stay safe. Yeah.
Thank you, Vijay.